folks, Dude here. Well, somebody asked me a little while ago in one of the other newer videos about what do I normally mix, well, you know him, you love him, Mr. Jack Daniels with. They say, do you mix, well, what do you mix it with? And I say normally I mix it with Pepsi Throwback. And there's a very good reason for that. First off, we need to have a control here, so just give me 1 second here. Yes, definitely smells like Jack number 7. Just give me 1 second here. Oh, quality control, folks. You know it. You gotta love it. You gotta do it. Just give me 1 second here. Okay. Anybody that knows Jack Daniels knows Jack by itself can be a little bit rough. Your standard way of drinking Irish whiskey, or any kind of whiskey, you're supposed to hit a little bit of water, knocks off some of the alcohol levels so you get the full flavor. Now, I normally mix my Jack Daniels, don't want it to evaporate, folks, give me 1 second here, and this was my control. You always mix Jack Daniels with a sugar-based vehicle. Give me 1 second here, we got a control, so this is now our control. Pepsi Throwback, you see it in all my videos. It's, just give me 1 sec. Don't want to, contaminate my control. Okay, so, basically that was my control, now set aside. Okay, so basically you got your Pepsi Throwback. Standard stuff, nothing crazy, made here in the old USA, and it is basically the way Pepsi was always meant and intended to be made, with sugar. Okay, now this is your classic Pepsi. I know they made Pepsi, I know they made Coca-Cola Classic, and it really doesn't stand up. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, tastes like the stuff I drink constantly. Alright, now what else did I do? I did some scrounging around, and I found Heche in Mexico, Pepsi. You can see this very clearly. Made in Mexico, Heche in Mexico, special import, importación especial. Okay, now let's do a little flippy here, and in the old Spanish lingo, carbonated water, sugar, caramel color, phosphoric acid, caffeine, natural flavor. Now, of course, in your Spanish lingo, it would be agua carbonatado, azúcar, caramelo, acido, fosforico. I know I'm messing up that O. I never really get that right. Caffeina, sabor natural. So in other words, natural flavors. And of course, all that other good stuff like that there. And of course, this is done, distributed for Pepsi Beverages Company, Summers, New York, 10589. Caffeine content, Contenido de Cafeína, 38 milligrams, 12 fluid ounces, www.pepsi.com. Comments, questions, preguntas, o comentarios, or basically, comments or questions, 1-800 number, it's all bilingual, but got a big-ass barcode, and, excuse me, it works quick. Alright, so that's basically your Pepsi right there, okay? No confusion. This is going to be, well, that's my control. Okay, so basically you now have your Mexican Pepsi made with sugar. Made with sugar. Sealed very nicely. And of course we are using the big-ass Swiss Army knife to open it because they don't unscrew in Mexico. They use the appropriate apparatus to remove it from such. Okay, side-by-side comparison. Looks very similar. This is my control. Tastes like the stuff I drink all the time. Now let's see what the Mexican stuff is like. Just give me 1 second here. For illustration purposes. Color's dead on. I mean, there's no difference really. Just give me 1 second here. It's different. It's definitely different. It seems to be a little bit rounder with the acid profile. It definitely has a different sugar type hit to you. It's more caramel kind of, tasting and flavor. Just give me 1 second here. It's nice. I mean, it's really not bad. I mean, I would drink that stuff all the time if I was down in Mexico, and I'm not in Mexico. All right, so what is the third horseman of the apocalypse? I need a third glass, of course. So basically, we got Pepsi, and of course, the third horseman of the apocalypse is going to be Coca-Cola, Heche in Mexico, Refresco. You know what? I'm going to make this a two-parter because I got the red bar of doom, and I don't want this thing to crap out momentarily when I need it to really work. So give me 1 second, I'm going to kill this first segment off so I can change my batteries. Okay, having refed the camera, I got no more red bar telling me I'm about ready to kick off. So let's see what we got here. This is medio litro, which basically means it's medium size, and it comprises an amount of approximately 500 milliliters, which is half a liter. A liter is 1,000 milligrams. Okay, so basically what do we got here? We've got one big honking bottle. Let's do a little bit of size comparison here. That is a tall boy. It's approximately 2 inches taller than this guy. So this other Pepsi bottle, let's see what this guy is. This is a 12 fluid ounce bottle. This is a 12 ounce can. This is 500 milligrams, which would basically be, I'm thinking, yeah, 500 milliliters, which would be 500 grams, or half a liter, which is 16.9 ounces. I can barely read it on this label here. Hopefully this kind of shows. I know I'm doing it in HD, so hopefully that makes a difference. But it's 500 milligrams, 16.9 fluid ounces. Ugh, excuse me. This stuff does work. Alright, so basically we don't... Oh, that was bad. Ugh, that was a bad reburp. Ugh. Alright, so let's pop this sucker out and see what we get. Now, I have had this Coke before, so there's no great mystery there. Let's do a quick pour. Sample, appraisal, and, of course, addressing it with the facts at hand. Let's see here. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Let's see. Drop the old FOMO Rooney. And color-wise, comparing it to the other stuff, they're very close. I think this one might be slightly lighter. This one may be a little darker. And Mexican Cokes. Give me 1 second here. No, it's definitely different than the Coke that I remember in my youth. Now, you gotta remember, folks, when I grew up, okay, of course, I was born in the mid-60s. I'm in my mid-40s. So I had Coca-Cola with sugar up until the 80s when they switched off to high fructose corn syrup versus the real stuff. The Mexican stuff does not use true sugar either. No, 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 no. They probably use something called turbinado sugar, which would be this stuff. Turbinado sugar, or their own version, which is, it's kind of really not, it's not table sugar, okay? It's not white. It's kind of a brownish color because it's got a bit of molasses left in it, and it does make a hell of a difference when you have them comparing them side by side, but, alright, we got our control, we've tried our Jack Daniels, let's do a little bit of a ample sampling here. We got our Coca-Cola, and, of course, it does contain sugar, so let's add a splash of Jack to it. And, of course, being perfectly scientific, excuse me, and I kind of forgot to do this earlier, but cheers, and to absent companions. That is flippin' wonderful. The idea of sugar and Jack Daniels is, it's kind of a neat thing, because what happens is Jack Daniels, when it's in the oak cask that's been charred, the alcohol extracts out that wonderful caramel structure that was part of the wood and pulls out those sugars, and that's where you get that lovely brown color from Jack Daniels, and of course that wonderful vanilla caramel thing that's in the background. A little tactical, but that's the way Jack Daniels works. Also, there's something called the Angel's Share. And this is something coming back from when they used to make Irish whiskey, but when you have a cask of whiskey, and it's basically doing its contraction and expansion thing in the seasons in which it's doing it, because it sits outside, it doesn't go down in the basement. When they age whiskey, it sits outside, under a roof shelter, but it sits outside in a wood building, and it's exposed to all the temperature extremes of the seasons. Well, some of that alcohol tends to evaporate, and they refer to that as the Angel's Share. In other words, like the angel came down, that was good whiskey, thanks man. That's what happened to it. Alright, so basically that was Coca-Cola with Jack Black. Let's try some Mexican Pepsi with some Jack Black. And before long, I'll be asking Mrs. Dude to drive because I'm going to be entirely too hammered to drive when we go out shopping later on. Okay, so we now have another scientific experiment taking place here. Just give me 1 second here. Taps and companions. That's different. It's very different than the Coca-Cola. It's a little brighter. You really notice the caramel accent that's coming from the old Jack Black. It's different. I mean, if you put these two side by side, and even a total, I don't have much of a sense of taste guy would be tasting them, he would say, this one is different from this one. Now, okay, these two are basically our controls, and of course, Throwback. You know what? I know what Throwback and Jack Daniels taste like, but, alright, just for fun and grins, you guys are going to get me hammered. See, the spoon's already taking it. The spoon's already getting drunk. Excuse me, folks. Tops and companions. Okay, as a control, I would say I still prefer this one versus this one and this one. So if I went from absolute favorite to least favorite, I would say probably this is my go-to. This is a very nice follow-up. And this one is not bad, but it is in my taste structure, okay? In my taste structure and profiling, I would say that is my least favorite. It's not bad, man. Just give me 1 second here. It's not bad, but you know what? It really doesn't stand up to the Jack so much as these two guys. And I don't know if it was because it needed a little more dilution, but let's fix that too. All right, let's see if we can't get a fair fight going on here. No, it doesn't hold up to the Jack. Excuse me. It just doesn't hold up to the Jack when these two guys really, truly do hold up to the Jack. Now, I can tell you from time and eternal, the old classic Coke made with sugar, the way it's supposed to be, and not the Mexican sugar, which is more molasses and less like table sugar. The old classic Jack and Coke kicked major ass. Are any of these terrible? No. Are any of these my absolute, I hate them, I will never drink them again? No. But in my preference for, diluting, unfortunately, Jack Daniels with something, I'm going to choose probably this one going as a number 1, this one going as a number 2, and of course, and I'm going to get this back in frame here, and of course, the old Coca-Cola from Mexico as my number 3. Oh, man, this stuff works quick. Anyway, so basically here on the News Podcast channel, you see me drinking in public. Well, drinking in my kitchen, so it's really not too public, but, that's good shit, isn't it, man? In any case, Jack Daniels in any kind of soda is really, really good stuff, and I truly appreciate it. So I thank you as usual here for tuning in the podcast, and, of course, you guys eat good. Keep them in the 10 ring, and as always here on the 80s Podcast channel, you know it, you love it, and, I'm always going to keep saying it.